If you are an achieved middle-aged man who more than ever wants to walk your talk, in this video, I'll show you the 7 gains you get by working with your sexual energy and how it can give you greater and faster results than most performance coaching ever will. In case you don't know who I am Shell. I'm the founder of Psychosexual Integrative Therapy. So far, I've had the honor of working with over 55 well-established individuals, bringing them into psychological integration through their sexuality. This work is a combination of the two major passions that I have in life, one that is Jungian psychology, and the other one that are the sexual arts, BDSM, Tantra, and sexual energy work. So let's begin. The number one thing is sharper perception. As a stallion, you understand how painful it is to miss the point because you didn't read the room quite well. If your perception of your environment isn't clear, that might cause you to miss opportunities to bring your ideas forward in a board meeting or to avoid a difficult or even destructive conversation with partner, your wife or girlfriend. If you misperceive your environment enough times, that can lead you to places you don't want to be in, or you won't even know why you're there. The reason your perception is not as clear is because as a human being, you are biased by older experiences. You, like me, have a shadow. In the shadow, you keep parts of yourself that you are ashamed of. Shame scrambles and distorts your authenticity. So you deliver a more polished, performative version of yourself to your external reality. By doing that, you are automatically perceiving the exterior world as a matching mirror to that distorted version of yourself. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So, for example, if you have an employee who you have misperceptions about due to your own lived experiences, you might be unconsciously unable to open yourself up to his greatness and profit from that. Typically, this is a very obvious problem in relationships when you can't see the woman that is right in front of you because you already have a set of lenses that you're seeing her through. Eros, in this case, will help you go deep within yourself to find where that shame is so you can actively and not reactively tackle it. The number one gain is clear judgment, perhaps a continuation of the previous gain. If you don't have a sharper perception of what's around you, you're obviously not going to judge it correctly. And if you can't make a clean discernment of what's in front of you, then you're likely to make poor decisions in your life, especially if you tend to get passionate about what is it that you are discerning. And that can lead to, of course, impulsiveness. If you misjudge things enough times, you will start fucking everything up around you. You might, for instance, push greater things away, deals or greater relationships, but you also might misjudge something and bring it into your life, which might cause a betrayal, for example. The difference between having sharper perception and cleaner judgment is that the first is about not having any bias in the information you receive, so you can receive it fully, you can see it. The second one is about having the sensibility and the compass of your intuition, your truth, to help you turn what is in front of you into a yes or no. Talking about intuition, if you don't believe in intuition, you really need to update yourself. Your intuition comes from you being able to sense the most subtle somatic response that your body has in response to what's in front of you. Intuition is an expression of you and your life energy, which is sexual energy. If you are blocking repressing, suppressing, or denying your sexuality, not allowing it to exist, to be expressed, you are instantly doing the same to your intuition. Number three, strongest certainty in speech. I'm sure you know exactly what you want and what you desire, but how good are you at communicating and conveying that? This can be applied in so many areas, but from my practice, this is most common a problem in relationships among stallions. While you can absolutely be certain with what you say within your work, within your business, when it comes to relationships, you might flinch more specifically with women. Maybe there are things within your marriage that you don't agree with, but you don't have the certainty, perhaps even the courage to convey that. Or maybe when you are dating, you have the same problem. These can be extended directly to the bedroom. Perhaps you have fantasies that you want to make true, but you are ashamed of them. And therefore, when you speak them out, there's no certainty in you, so they never happen. A lack of certain speech is a sign that you lack clarity as to what your truth is and the balls to own it. When you start unfolding your sexual energy, being one with it, using it to discover your truth more deeply, you will go from being a source of shame to having it be a source of drive. Because this turns me on so deeply, then it must come through me. And this is for life. Number four, more comfort in your own skin. The average age of the men that I work with is in between their 40s and 60s. And a lot of them report not feeling as confident as they would like in their own body. This is obviously felt when you are in an encounter with a woman where you have your insecurities and therefore feel a sense that you need to perform in order to compensate them. But this is also felt in important conversations with individuals who are at your level. Of course, if you are talking to someone who's below you, who cares? But if a powerful stallion is with another powerful stallion, all of a sudden being comfortable in your own skin is an advantage you want to have. This is the beautiful thing about working with sexuality. It turns the soil up. If you can feel sexually empowered in your body, you will feel sexually empowered to put your dick on the table and say it how it is, regardless of how you look or how old you are. This is an undeniable truth that I see getting proved over and over, which I'm talking about your energetic cog here. Number five, renewed fire and presence. This is probably the central pain of the men that I work with. When they were younger, when they had more people to prove wrong, when they had a greater need to validate themselves, they had so much fire within them to carve their will, penetrate the world. But as they get to middle age, when a man reaches the top of a mountain, or when they go through an event in his life that fragilizes his sense of self, he might feel that his fire is gone. And if it's not gone, they don't know what to do with it. So it gets wasted by being misdirected. If we were to talk about sex addiction in this video, this is where it would enter. And when we refer to the hero journey, in your professional life, you are a hero. You are a winner. But could it be that in the process of winning in the external world, you left something important behind in your internal world? Or perhaps you won at the cost of it. When you allow yourself to be guided into the underworld and explore your sexuality, The point of catharsis, that emotional breakthrough, will consequently reveal your deeper truth, your deepest compass, which can trigger a renaissance in your life. Right? Maybe even write this down. Being grounded in your truth while feeling the weight of your balls makes your presence undeniable. Number 6, more vivid creativity. Nobody wants to be a dinosaur. Nobody wants to be that old man stuck in a reality that is known to them, who stops allowing life to pierce them and inspire them and stir them towards their edge. Lack of creativity is why people get fired, why money is left on the table, why relationships go cold. If you lose creativity, you lose your vividness. It's the end of the road. Was it Einstein who said that creativity is the greatest sign of intelligence that a man can possess? And for the prudes watching this, sorry to break it to you, but creative energy and sexual energy is the exact same thing. The drive to procreate drives us to be creative when solving the problems around us. Would you strive for greatness if there were no women in the world? I don't think so. In psychosexual integrative therapy, parallel to everything that needs to be unfolded within you, the number one thing that I put my clients on is a protocol to become familiar with their sexual energy so they can start transmuting it into creativity. And for the matter of fact, PSIT, my work, is the direct consequence of me transmuting my own sexual energy, not repressing it by feeling like I need to be a saint for some sake, and not by wasting it on pointless sexual encounters, which is something that I've also done when I was a sex addict. But by holding my sexual energy into focus and putting it towards what I wanted to bring forward into this world. Number 7, more sovereign masculine power. There's a difference between tyrannic masculine power and sovereign masculine power. One leads like this. He's at the top, compensating his insecurities with intolerance and dominance. And the other one leads like that. His presence, his confidence, his power prospers everything around him. A man in his sovereign masculine power simply gets more out of life. But how can you be sovereign if you have unfinished business with yourself? If you have things that you hide? And if you have chains to break through from, could there be any more exciting way to do that than through your own erotic energy? Is it unreasonable to believe that the energy you already have between your legs can indeed be the facilitator of all these gains? My love, these are all tangible results, the symptoms of something much deeper, which is invaluable. And that is being able to access your personal power, knowing your truth and being one with it. This is the transformation that is available to you when you engage your sexual energy in the process. If you enjoy this content, why not subscribe or hit the like button? If you're interested in understanding more about the work that I do and possibly even exploring the possibility of doing a one-on-one pilgrimage with me down into the underworld, you can then go to our website, request the theory of the work, and apply. Thank you so much for watching. Mwah. I'll see you next time. Bye.